Good morning, friends. It's time for a little grounding and connection. Just trying to go live on the on the Instagram. All right. I'm live on Instagram. How fun. Hello, Instagram. Hello, Facebook. So as always, I'll start with the check-in. The first check-in might be that I've enrolled in Hogwarts School for Witchcraft and Wizardry. The other thing you might notice is that the background behind me looks completely different. So I'd like to let y'all know that in the middle of all of this, hey, Aaron, I'm trying to move into a new place. So this we'll make the wall pretty. For now, this is my co-facilitator. My co-facilitator does not have a name yet. If you would like to name my co-facilitator, if my co-facilitator speaks to you and lets you know their name, please put it down in the comments, or just email me later. Talk directly to the plant. Something that's very alive for me today, is that it's beautiful outside here in Los Angeles. We got the order to shelter in place, or they're calling it safer at home, last night. And it's, it's going to be at least a month. And that's a real thing. And I've been talking with folks yesterday, and we're all having different reactions. Some people are feeling, extremely heightened anxiety, right? And spinning out and feeling the isolation. And some people are feeling exuberant, happy, and feeling into the possibilities of this moment. And something that, hey, Becca, good morning. Something that I'm really sitting with is there has to be space for all of it, right? That there is space for the joy, just like with humanity, really. If I think about what I'm actually saying, there is space for all of it. And these are really extreme times. And what I'm seeing and hearing in folks sometimes is a tendency to judge ourselves mostly for reacting in a certain way. So yeah, this is great. Okay, well, good. I think the plant's name is Zulim. That's awesome. Thank you. That there's a tendency to maybe judge those parts of ourselves that, oh, things are horrible, so who am I to be happy? Or things aren't that bad, who am I to be this anxious? And the image that comes up for me when I think about this is, if you think of a leaf in the water, if you crumple up the leaf, it gets really heavy and it sinks to the bottom. And that's how I think of the way judgment works on us. When we judge ourselves, we clench around something that we're experiencing. And in that clenching, we lose our ability to float on the river that's kind of carrying us along. So today we'll work a little bit and explore the idea of how do we find those places that are really clenched and just gently smooth them out, so that, like a leaf, morning, Charlie, like a leaf, we can kind of float along the surface. It looks like we're going to be doing these for a while. So if there's ever anything that you would like to explore in this time we have together, just send me a message and let me know, and we'll create something for that. It's your own personal meditation on demand. All right, let's get started. So everybody sit up a little bit straighter, or in a way that feels comfortable for you. And we'll just bring some attention to the breath. Just being very aware with each inhale that this is you inhaling. Very aware with each exhale that this is you exhaling in this moment. And we can start to just consciously elongate the breaths. So consciously breathing in a little bit longer And breathing out a little bit longer. And if you want to, you can even imagine as you breathe in that the air comes in and moves down the front side of your body, right to your core, to your center. And on the exhale, it comes up your spine and out your mouth. So we're creating a little bit of an energetic cycle in the body. And everybody go ahead and take a nice deep breath in together. And release with a sigh. And with that sigh, we will invite ourselves a little bit further into our bodies. Just allowing gravity to work a little bit more. Feeling the weight of your muscles and your organs and of the fluids in your body, all just gently, gently, gently sink down onto the earth, recognizing that the more of our weight that we surrender to the earth, the more support she can send up for us. And it's almost like we're relaxing onto the softest possible bed of soil. And as we breathe into that, just doing a light compassionate scan with the body starting right above the crown of the head and working our way down with our compassionate attention through the muscles of the forehead, the eyeballs, noticing as we go anywhere that feels really good, really open, really alive, and anywhere in particular today, paying attention to those places that might feel constricted, or that might feel tight or even painful. So as we're working our way down, I'm just noticing in myself, my jaw is a little tense. I'm feeling some as I tune into it in my upper chest. And just working your way down through your body, that space between your shoulder blades, down your back, and staying connected with the breath through this. We're just noticing, so we don't have to get sucked into any of those tight places. It's almost like we're an observer. Moving down through the muscles of your back and your hips, your thighs, knees, all the way down to the bottom of your feet. And just take a nice deep breath in. And release. And with that release, we can just gently connect a little bit more with the earth. So sending those roots down into the soil, feeling a sense of exchange with the earth. And as those roots move into the earth, they can actually spread out. So we can connect with each other through those roots, and they can spread downwards so we can connect with the center of the earth. And we can just allow ourselves to release anything that feels spent or tired down into those roots, and the earth can send up beautiful, new, fresh energy. Good. Now, what I'll invite us to do is just tune into one of those places in your body that at this moment feels tight. And again, we don't have to go into the tightness. We're just taking on the stance of an observer. So I'm noticing it in my mid-back right now. Wherever it is for you, just notice it. And what we're going to do is play a fun game. So tune into that place that feels tight. And in a moment, we're going to take a nice inhale together. And on the exhale, you're going to imagine exhaling that energy and just holding it gently in your hand. And what we'll do first is we'll put on energetic gloves. So just, put on some energetic gloves. And here we go. Just take a nice deep breath in. connecting with that place that feels tight, and gently on the exhale, releasing it into your hand if it's able to let go. And it may take you a couple tries to do that. And when you have it in your hand, notice it, notice the qualities of it. It may feel heavy, it may feel like one of those crumpled up leaves. But whatever it is exactly right. And what we're going to do is just gently take your hand and start to smooth it out. Right? Gently allowing it to lighten or unridge itself. And just take some deep breaths as you do that. So deep breath in, deep breath out. Deep breath in, deep breath out. And just notice if the quality of that energy, both the energy that you're holding in your hand and the energy in your body, has shifted. Like for me, I feel that tightness in my mid-back is gone, and I can just kind of like lightly release it, maybe with a flick of my fingers. So that's something that we can always tune into, that ability to just smooth out or lighten those places in our bodies without even knowing the story behind them. So just stay with the breath. Take a deep breath in and release it. We can open our eyes from this place of connection. And what I'll invite us to do is take another couple deep breaths together. And when we do that, just imagine sharing that energy of smoothing and easing externally with the world, right? So that capacity that we may have found to unclench parts of ourselves that may feel tight, we can actually share with others just through the breath. So let's do that. Take a nice deep breath in and release. Deep breath in and release. And one more time, really sharing that sense of smoothing and easing and compassion with the world. So deep breath in and release. Yeah. So I'm always curious how these goes for folks. I don't script them. I don't really know what I'm going to say beforehand. So I'm always so curious to know people's experience. So if you do this later or are just popping in, go back and watch the recording later. Let me know how it went. So as always, we're going to wrap up with a pull from the Wild Unknown Archetype deck by Kim Krantz. And the question that's coming up today is, where can I find and share greater ease? Where can I find and share greater ease and gentleness with myself and with the world? So with that, oh, there's one that just, yeah. The card that we're going to be working with today is the Orphan. The Orphan. And this card, what number are we? No, it's right at the beginning, is one of the sort of primary archetypes. And again, if you're new, archetypes are not, this is not predictive. Archetypes are just universal energies that exist inside of all of us at all times. And so the specific archetype card doesn't mean that that's who we are. It's just a way of accessing the universal, sort of like the collective unconscious or the deeper self, or the part of it that might want attention today. So it's just an opportunity to focus a little. So the Orphan is the wounded child, the abandoned, the beggar. To study the orphan is to study the deep and challenging energy of our time. We are ever more connected, yet face collective isolation. Some of these cards are like really, they're kind of on the nose, you know, they're just a little on the nose. Yet face collective isolation. The refugee crisis haunts our planet. Children are separated from parents, and the earth begs for our attention. We are in a time of universal orphanage, of nature, of each other, of our own hearts. Take refuge in the fact that we all share this core wound and dilemma. It is normal to fear this card as it haunts the caverns of the soul. When it appears, take time, real time, to be in the presence of the feelings this card stirs in you. Let it humble you. What are you starving for? What is the deepest gift you could imagine giving to others? What has been rejected is quite possibly what is most needed, dear one. When light, the orphan brings deep solace, deep acceptance, and deep love. When dark, distance, hates and avoids, controlling and limiting. We can access this archetype through creative acts like drawing, painting, or writing to keep it simple. Ask the orphan what it wants to draw, and then make it. Yeah, I know, Charlie. It's these cards. They're unreal. So, yeah, just a couple of reflections on that. It's pretty, it's all right there for us. But this idea, you know, this book, Kim wrote this way before any of this happened. So something that's very alive for me is this idea that what we are experiencing now, this sense of like quite literally collective isolation, is in some ways a heightened version of what we were already experiencing. And so the opportunity, and if I layer that over the question of, you know, how can I find and share a greater ease with the world, for those who joined late, welcome to Hogwarts, is to be very real with everything that's going on, and to sit with those places that have felt clenched or neglected or isolated, and to let them express, to let them open up, right? Because when we do that for ourselves, we can also share that with each other. And I think that's really beautiful. So as always, I will go ahead and take a picture of this description, and I'll put it in the comments for you. If you joined late and you want to play with this meditation or whatever it was later, it'll be on my Facebook, and it's also at storyandspirit.org/meditations. The other thing that I'd love to make available to folks, I'm offering, because I know that this time is very intense for people, so I'm offering sliding scale coaching and healing sessions via Zoom. If you're interested in that, just go to storyandspirit.org, and you'll see a COVID response graphic right at the top. Just click on that, and it's got all the information there. And I think that's it for today. I will be here tomorrow, so come hang out, and we'll take Sundays off. That's all for now. I'd love to just close with a couple more deep breaths together, and just deep gratitude. So if we could send gratitude to each other through the inner tubes, that would be super cool. So deep breath in, and exhale gratitude. Deep breath in, and exhaling gratitude. Beautiful. Thanks, everybody. As always, I'm so grateful for these moments that we get to spend together, and that we'll get to spend together for a little while yet. Have a beautiful day, and I will see you tomorrow.